at Villa Park. No Casemiro, no Mbumo, no Ahmad, no Mazraoui, and also no Kobe Mainoo, because apparently he picked up a little bit of an injury as well. So it was expecting a slight bit of rotation, but we've certainly got that. So starting in goal for us today, no change there. We've got Le Mans. We've got the same back three as we usually have in Yoro, Heaven, and Shaw starting the game again. Patrick Dorgu comes in at left wing back. He's been under a little bit of scrutiny the past couple of weeks from the manager in particular. But obviously with players out, he was going to come into the side. And then Dallo switches to right wing back where Amad Diallo would usually be. In the middle of the park, change for the first time in seems like a year. Manuel Ugarte starts alongside Bruno Fernandes. I'm fascinated to see how he gets on. Mason Mount takes up Brian Mbumo's position, played on the right-hand side of a three. Benjamin Šeško starts the game as well up top, and Mateus Cunha on the left-hand side for us as well. Dan, what's your initial reaction to that, mate?
Yeah, I was expecting back four, but I think that was a bluff that Amorim played at the press conference. So I think we are going back with the same lineup, same formation. But yeah, I mean, not feeling confident to be honest, because with the with the unavailability of the players who have been making the differences in all these games are not there in this setup. So I mean, it's going to be a kind of a surprise package for us to see today, like how they perform, and also with Dallo playing on the right hand side. I mean, for after a long time, I'm not sure how he's going to be able to adapt himself on that side, and also with I mean, Cunha, I guess Cunha will be playing on the right wing role in place of Mbeumo. So I think that's also going to be a
Oh, you
surprise
think
for
it'll
us, like
be?
how we perform.
You think Cunha will be on the right-hand side and Mount will be on the left?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like Mount is more, I mean, comfortable playing on the left hand side rather than the right side. So I think Cunha, he has little experience of playing on the right hand side. So I think that's how it's going to. But yeah, I mean, in game they might be changing. I mean, switching positions a lot. But I think the starting would be Mount on the left and Cunha on the right.
Interesting, interesting. Yeah, the news. A lot of people thought Kobe Mainoo might actually start this game. There was a lot of noise about it in the press conference, which we'll get into a little bit later on. But the fact that he's picked up an injury, I mean, that is hard looking at Dan when you think if you're waiting for your opportunity to start in the midfield and show the manager what you're about. Today is the absolute day to do that, especially against the midfield of Tillemans, Onana, and whoever else is in there, Kamara. Are you a little bit disappointed that he's not of it? Obviously, it's not his fault, but the fact that he's picked up is unfortunate timing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know that even though we have tried him, I mean, even in the coming on from the bench, it has not worked out well. We have not been looked solid. Apart from whosoever we have chosen in the mid pivot of, I mean, Casemiro and Bruno. So, I mean, though these attributes are there in him, like the defense and the doggy, I mean, he has the stamina to play hard. But again, that composure and that discipline was missing in him. So today that's going to be a key one, and I hope that doesn't affect even the Bruno's play, because when Casemiro was there, Bruno was a bit confident to go up the pitch and do his things. But with Ugarte, he might be a little bit, I mean, more not that much confident and to go up ahead of the pitch. So that's where I can see that our attack may be affected a little bit with Bruno maybe more focusing on staying in the midfield to support Ugarte. But let's see how it goes on. I mean, when the game starts.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. There's quite a few of you in the chat. Niall saying, do you think Toby Menu's out? Supposed to, supposed to... I don't know why that's so funny, but it is.
is it from,
Toby
is it from the
Menu.
Harry Potter?
That's his new name now. We can't call him Kobe Mainoo. It's Toby's Toby's menu. Do you think Toby Menu's out, and do you think Kobe Mainoo is the man to go in January? I'm not even sure if that's a typo at this point, but if you've meant to put that, then I don't know what to tell you. Fair enough. RIP to the video title. The hope lasted hours. Confidence is low. nothing on the bench, and not much hope in Dorgu and Ugarte. Only positive is that we won the games we thought. Yeah, I thought it was absolutely nailed on for Toby Mainoo to start to start the game in the middle of the park. But I mean, when your luck's not in, your luck's not in. Apparently, Ugarte is going to be so rusty, man. Rogers, Kamara, Tillemans, and Onana is terrifying. But the thing is about Ugarte, Dan, is that he has had good performances, hasn't he? It's more bad ones than it is good. But you think about Liverpool at Anfield, for example. That's the only one that springs to mind. But I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are a couple more. What are you expecting from him today? Do you think it's going to be more disappointment?
Yeah, I mean, the past performances of him is not giving us that confidence, to be honest. I mean, he hasn't. I mean, as you mentioned, like he has been um, more weaker than the stronger side of him we have seen in the past games. But yeah, again, to be positive, we have seen the strengths in him, especially that you mentioned the game against Liverpool. So that's the game you can judge, you can have a little bit confidence that player who can give that level of performance against the Liverpool team, then definitely he can replicate the same in this game. But the only thing is like he has not been that regular with the team, so I'm not sure how he's going to be able to bring up that chemistry, especially that role which he is playing is the most important role in this setup. So the discipline would be very key. So we don't want him to just go for the tackle and just I mean, how many times you have seen like he just goes for the man or the ball and just gets bullied there in the middle of the park. So that's where we need him to be kind of more disciplined and not to just go for the tackle as it is, and just to hold up play would be the key for him. So we have seen that. I mean, the attributes are there, the talent is there, but again the thing is with the discipline. So that's what will be making a difference in his performance today.
Yeah, and I think with Casemiro as well, you do get those kind of first time passes, breaking the lines over the top. You get obviously the aerial duels in the box and the other box. I'm sorry. UTFR has just put he just gives the ball away so easy. Toby Mainoo keeps the
Yeah.
ball and distributes so well. Gutted for Toby. Oh, I mean, surely we see an. I don't even know why that's so funny, Dan. It's just hilarious. I mean, surely we see an academy player come on. Leacher and Xerxes are the only seniors with Toby Mainoo being out. Everyone's on it now. He can't even call him by his real name. It is forever on this channel. From this day, it's the 21st of December. It's a Sunday, and it's 3:30. From this day onwards, he will always be known as Toby Mainoo. UTFR saying free Toby Mainoo in the chat. There is conspiracies flying about though. People think he's been benched. He's not been benched.
It's free. Toby Menu looks more like a kind of a voucher, free voucher.
Wow. I'm not going to do a serious preview of this. Who put that in? Let me see who's put that in. Oh, he's retracting the message now. Niall Bradley's retracting the message. That makes me feel like it was a typo, in which case you've just discredited yourself, sir, because that's absolutely hilarious. Can the real Toby Mainoo please stand up? Oh, sorry for anyone who's. Sorry for anyone who's come for a serious preview. Wait 1 second, let me get this thing off. Oh my god. Wait, if I end this and then I can switch screens and we can go back to 1 second. We go to there. No, this one. I've got tears in my eyes. That's so funny. There's no comical level to it. There's no like genius. There's nothing genius about it at all. It's just Tommy's menu. Oh my god, that is so funny. Right, I'll try and get into it. Just give me a minute.
I'm sweating.
Imagine if Mainoo, sorry, Menu was watching this. He'd be fucking fuming. He's on the bench. He's not even on the bench. He's injured. And someone's calling him Toby Menu. It doesn't get much worse, does it? He is right at the bottom of the pit at the minute. Most I've laughed in ages. Considering all, every fan has the right to be skeptical about this. If Amorim wishes to talk bad, silly rumours, then maybe he needs to look at himself. He has some responsibility here. Yeah, he does. He does. All right, let me. Woosah. It'll come. It'll pop in the head. It'll, you know. I've not laughed on here that much since we mentioned that dude's wife before. I don't even remember that. I don't even know what you're going on about, but I wish I did, but that's hilarious. Right. Ugarte, I have to agree. I'm not crossing my fingers and hoping that he's going to put in some fucking miracle performance, because he has one game where he looks all right, and then the other fucking 10, he always puts in stinkers. So fingers crossed he can, because you look at the midfield that Aston Villa have got in Tillemans and Onana and
Kamara.
Tillemans, Onana, Kamara in the midfield.
Kamara.
It's just like I've got no hope. And I looked at the goals that we conceded against Bournemouth. So if you remember Evan Nilsson's, where he just ran straight through the middle and then finished. If you remember, what's the kid who came off the bench for Bournemouth? Really good young kid, French kid. Is it Krupe?
Yeah, I think so.
Krupe Jr., I think it is. Yeah, he's the one who got through the middle as well. Heaven didn't touch tight. There was like a real kind of lack of experience in that back line. And I look at Dorgu's age, I look at Yoro's age, I look at Heaven's age. Luke Shaw's the only one, and even the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's fucking 21, 22. So you're talking about a real lack of experience. Do you think Aston Villa can exploit that today with the likes of Morgan Rogers and Watkins?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know that, especially against the experienced strikers, we have really struggled. I mean, again, Watkins is no other guy. He has really hurt us in the past, and now even with the likes of McGinn and Rogers, and I can see that the midfield battle will be lost already, because you see that they have kind of two defensive midfielders who can definitely boss out Ugarte. He will be left alone in the midfield, and to deal with Kamara and Onana, who are very good in snatching the balls. And with the past stats from Ugarte, you can see that he has lost balls so many times. So I think that would be you can definitely see. Few instances here and there where we'll be losing balls in the midfield, and I think that once that happens, then you can see that the players like Watkins and Tielemans and McGinn can take advantage of that. And also with that inexperienced defense, no doubt about the talents and the potential, but again, when you are playing against the experienced strikers, you need a different level of experience. To be honest, like the experience of Maguire is missing here. So that kind of experience you need in the defense line. And with today's game, with Heaven and Euro, I don't think they have that much of experience to bully out Watkins. So it's going to be a little tough to handle them. But yeah, and you know that Aston Villa is not the team who depends on their pace, rather than they depend on their skills and the chemistries. So even to break that, that will be requiring a more experience in the back. So I hope that Euro and Heaven have their to be at the top of the game today. And just to show like they are dependable, and they are the future for United in the centre back role. So today is the game for many players to prove. Dogu, Euro, Heaven, and Ugarte. So these players, they have to prove today.
I do think they're very talented. I just think they need like a bit of a Thiago Silva next to him or something, just to guide them through the game. And Shaw will be that to a certain extent, but it's kind of like, I don't know, he's never struck me as that kind of big, influential, you know what I'm saying, that centre back.
Yeah.
He speaks well in interviews, but in terms of on the pitch, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm fascinated to see how they get on. As for anyone asking on the subs bench, is Bayende, Heaton, Fredrickson, Malacia, Martinez, Fletcher, Shea Lacey, Mantato, and Xerxes. So even if you're looking for options off the bench to have an effect, it's going to be tricky. I mean, like we said, no Ahmad, and Bumo, Mainoo, Casemiro, Mizraure, like that
Yeah.
is almost half as like starting 11 gone. I know Mainoo doesn't start, but our menu should I say. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Villa's bench is unbelievable, by the way. I'd imagine Buendia will cause chaos. Yeah, Buendia's been in really good form for them. Got him in my FPL
Hmm.
team. He's been. It was weird because he picked up like a big injury. Then he went to Bayer Leverkusen in Germany, kind of picked up a bit of form again, and since he's come back, he's played pretty well. Could you imagine if
Yeah.
Fletcher comes on and has a worldie due to Toby being out? Could be his Rashford moment. I just can't see it. Amrin doesn't seem to want to throw the youth in there at the minute,
Yeah.
so I can't. If he's not going to do it in a game against Everton at Old Trafford, I just can't see him doing it in a game against England. But yeah, let's before we get into actual details of the game, Dan. And it was obviously the attack is looking slightly different. You've got Mount, Sheshko, and Cunha. Now, traditionally, we don't have a player who has the qualities of 1v1. Like Amarin said that in the press as well. You can't really recreate that the way Ahmad does and Dingus. So,
Yeah.
what strengths can we use from the likes of Mount and Cunha and Sheshko as well? Like, how can we use them as opposed to someone like Mbumo and Ahmad?
I mean, we will have to find a different approach because you know that with Ahmad and Mbomo, they are kind of a more. I mean, they just go in towards the defense and just create something out of nothing. But that kind of quality is not. I mean, we cannot expect that kind of similar kind of quality with Mount and Cunha. But again, you have seen that Mount and Cunha, they are kind of in the last games they are connecting well together,
Yeah.
and that small passes they are playing, I mean, even at the tight situation, so that has worked out really well. You can see that even though we dropped points in the last game, but you could see that there was that 1-2 between these players, especially between Mount, Bruno Fernandes, and Cunha. So that has to be again the same scenario today. You can see that passing happening between Mount. I mean, Bruno Fernandes has to come up because you know that Sesko will not play the role as similar as what we played in the last game. So he is going to be a target man. And also I couldn't see like we putting crosses in with. I have not seen much with Cunha putting the crosses in. So even Mount, I have not seen him. I mean, kind of a long balls, but the I mean. The approach would be to kind of 1-2 passes and just maybe if chance comes in, then you can see a early cross from Bruno Fernandes to Sesko. But again, personally, I felt like Sesko has to step up today. I mean, in the last game, he looked really different. I mean, he felt
Mm-hmm.
like he was playing with the heavy boots. I mean, he was not looking at him. I mean, everything. I mean, it's totally different. I mean, Sesko that we seen from when we bought him.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he has to prove himself. We cannot. I mean, it's always. I mean, it's hard to even think about that. Is we cannot go again for a striker for 60 70 million. We have already in a consecutive years we have gone for two strikers like this. So I mean Sesko has to work out. I mean it has to be Sesko. I mean but again we need to really use his height. So I mean Dorgu or Dallo has to be finding moments where they can put the ball inside the box for Sesko to come up. I mean to come to the end of that ball. So yeah, that's going to be the play for us today. I don't see a trouble with Mount and Cunha because they have been really gelling with each other. Well, with Cunha had little. I mean, he was not at it full. I mean, in the last before two games, but in the last game you can see that he has building up and he has come up and he has stepped up a bit. So I think that could be related to his injury thing that he is kind of coming. I mean, slowly coming up to his 100%. So I think that should be fine for us today to have Mount and Cunha on both the sides.
Yeah, the Sesko thing I have to agree with. Obviously, I've been an advocate for him to come in, and I think there is a player there. But especially because of the absence of the players that are here at the minute who are at AFCON, that is your moment to step up. You need opportunities in the team to prove
Yeah.
yourself and show that you are the real deal. And to be honest, like I know as a young striker when it comes into it, but the United fans just they're not going to have that excuse simply because we dealt with Rasmus Højlund for the good part of 2 years or whatever it was, and people ran out of patience. They want to see goals going in. They see other teams with, for example, the likes of Erling Haaland. I know
Mhm.
Isaac's been shit recently, but obviously he scored yesterday. The teams, big teams near the top of the table, have got premium strikers who are scoring goals for him. Even like how much Gyökeres has been discredited at Arsenal and the fact that people don't necessarily rate him, he's still got 5, 6 goals or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like goals are your bread and butter as a striker. You can have really good performances, but you need to start delivering. And we need a big, big performance from him today. Even I'm not suggesting you go score a hat trick. I'm just saying, get a
Yeah. Yeah.
goal, look the
Yeah.
part, bring your team into the game because that's going to be important. If you've got players like Mount and Cunha either side, you're not really going to get many runners in behind because, like you just touched on it there, they like playing combinations. They like playing in the pockets.
Mm.
So Shesko is going to be that guy in the last line, especially when Aston Villa typically play a high line. He's going to be the one in it where, if you're looking for someone to break through for Fernandez to pick someone off, it's going to be someone with Shesko because not only is he great in the air, he's actually really, really good. He's really quick. You know what I mean? Like he's got a bit of
Yeah.
pace about him. So that's the kind of differences I want to see in his game today. If it's the same, similar when he came on, I know he technically got the assist for the Cunha goal, but if we're seeing a similar kind of pattern where when it does get into him and he's a bit rough around the edges and his touch doesn't look that clean, then people are just going to judge you again based off that. So hopefully he has a really, really good game because we're going to need it. But again, another player who is young, you know, very, very young. You've got the oldest players in the team now. I'm looking at it are fucking Bruno, and that's it. Bruno, Shaw, they're your
Yeah.
experienced players. Which is that enough, Dan?
I mean, not enough to be honest, especially when you are building a team from and getting in so many players who are early in their 20s. Uh, I mean, when when to be honest, when you can, if you look back 3 years back when Ronaldo was here, you could see that there were so many experienced players in Ronaldo, Casemiro, Ericsson, even Cavani was there. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is there. So these kind of players were there at that moment to, I mean, to develop a team under them in their guidance. But now you can see that suddenly that experiences exposure for these young players to the experienced players is not that much available at this point, and you can see that there are only 20 to 30% players who are experienced and late in their 30s and plus 30 plus. So it's like a very fresh team, a very young
Mm-hmm.
team, but again. We have no other option to be honest, and I always like to have a experienced striker to actually support a young striker because as like Cavani that he was there and similar kind of a striker I wanted to have us in the team. So but that's not there to be on. I mean again you can see that the experience level for the overall experience level is low. So but I mean, it is how it is. You have to cope up with that and step. These are the moments where you have to step up. And when you get the win today, and you get at least a contribution to goal or an assist, that will definitely bring up and bring up that confidence level of the whole team. And a single win can change a lot. So and also with the absence of major, I mean, main players, if you get a win, then definitely that's going to boost a lot for that the young players. And I mean, you know that you cannot question their abilities because you know that they are all top players. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in the near future, they will be at the very top level of their. I mean, they will be reaching their high potential. But again, at this point, they are. I mean, I mean to be honest, they are in a very bad situation at this club, and the club is struggling, and they are being exposed to these kind of scenarios. And also, if you see that if you take at least one young player in the team who is in the playing 11, when you see around, he can see that you can see a similar age level players in that team, and that confidence will not be there as when you see the players like Eriksen and Ronaldo and Cavani in the team. So that's going to be a different thing. But again, yeah, I mean these players, all these players have to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I just want to get into some quotes coming out from Maiden Heaven, who's done a pre-match interview. I'm playing in the middle of a back three. He said, "Yeah, it's different. I've never played there before. It's my first time playing in the middle. I feel like I've done more in the games that I've played there, and just yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to carry on. I feel like I'm growing in confidence when I'm playing. I feel more comfortable, and yeah, I'm just happy that the managers trust me, and I'm getting loads more game time. So happy." Which is it's nice to see in it. I always, for as much as people have gone on about Mainoo, and I absolutely understand like the point that they're coming from. It's nice to see someone like Heaven, who we brought in, who you paid £1 million for. What have you made of him since he's coming? Because he had a tricky start, didn't he, against West Ham, I think it was. But then it does seem like he's building a bit more. Seems he's a lot better on the ball than I realised as well. That kind of playing between the lines and,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and pushing forward with it, which Amrin likes on his central centre backs to kind of step forward and kind of assert dominance on a team. So yeah, what have you made of him so far?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, he looked like, he was a bit nervous, to be honest, at the beginning of his, tenure with United when he was initially put into the team. But now you can see that lately that he's kind of stepping up, and you can see that he's more confident on the ball, and especially the main attribute which I like from him is like whenever he is going for the first touch, he just shifts the directions and just takes out one of the opponents, and that's I mean, I was really amazed to see that in the last game when he was making that change in direction quickly whenever he is
Hmm.
receiving the ball at the first time. And also he has been it has been seen that he was seen taking the ball more towards the center mid role, like how Maguire used to do, like take the ball and run towards the midfield. So that kind of instances we can see from him. So that in itself can bring that confidence level. So now, uh, if you can see that the confidence is there in him, because if the confidence is not there, then definitely he will be thinking and trying to be more uh, trying more to pass the ball around rather than keeping the ball and seeing for the good passes, I mean the key passes. But now you can see that in the last game he was making an effort to make the play more progressive rather than keeping the ball at the back, and that's a real advantage for us to have him, and especially in that mid pivot, I mean mid role of that center back line. That's a very kind of it requires more experience, and you can see that he has played really well in that. So I think that's a good to see. I mean, to have him, and even in the very young age, with the very less, and also you have seen that he has chosen us apart from the other teams as well. I mean, over the other clubs. So I think that itself it says that he likes to be here, and with the performances, we can see that he is really fitting well in this setup.
Yeah, I agree. I like the look of him. I was a bit worried after the West Ham game because I thought, well, it's been, I don't know if he's quite ready yet. And maybe, because we mentioned the Bournemouth game as well, maybe he isn't fully ready. And like I said, he does need that kind of experienced leader behind him. But the quality's there, and that's nice to see. So hopefully he has a good game today. Amarin's just been speaking as well about the game in itself and not having certain players available, and the fact that this game would kind of be very difficult anyway. I'm just going to get those quotes up on the screen, but before I do that, I'm going to read out a couple of comments. Need to see Lacey in those two home games before the end of the year. Ruben's been forced to use the academy now. The attack is malnourished. Mount won't be able to make the runs, and Bumo could off Sesko's headers, which is already a loss. When you see the summer of Ekatike with Voltamada and Sesko coming from abroad, and statistically Sesko is the worst, it's alarming. Yeah, do you know what? Voltamada, I have to admit, I've watched him anyway quite a bit for Newcastle. But for what we need in this kind of system, I think Voltamada would be absolutely insane. I don't
Yeah.
know if you agree, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, we need a striker who is, I mean, more like a traditional striker rather than a striker who is kind of skillful, rather than just we need a finisher. To be honest, because we have been creating a lot of chances. I mean, 20 plus chances in every game, and we have been missing chances, and we have not been clinical in front of the goal. So, if you see that the these kind of strikers can really help us and build us up, and that's why I wanted a kind of a second striker who is maybe more experienced and who is just traditional. I don't want an Aguero, Abramovich kind of a striker, but rather than just a striker who is very good in finishing. I don't
Yeah,
even want a pace from him. Just a clinical finisher. So that's the way it is. I mean, with most of the Premier League, especially with in Premier League, you can see that the strikers who are more traditional strikers are more in demand rather than skillful strikers. So that's where Ekiteke struggled a bit at the beginning, but now he's really gelling well in that team. But we need a proper solid striker. I mean, I don't want a 50, 60 million kind of striker. Maybe
I can't hear it at the
10,
minute.
20 million striker who is clinical finisher. So that can make a lot of difference. And even that's the same role of Sesko that has to be brought in here also, because you don't need to drop. I know he is good in dropping back and playing a hold up play, uh, but we have players who can do that role in Cunha, in Mount, and in Bruno Fernandes. But we need a player up front who can just finish the ball, and give us goals, and that has been missing. And even in the last game, he had few chances where he could have finished it. So that's the struggling point. I mean, if you, as a striker, if you score goal and if you are playing kind of a very bad game for 89 minutes and in 1 minute you score a goal or an assist, that will change everything. All the perspective on him will be changed. So, I mean, with the striker, goals and assists is a must. And with Sesko, and even in today's game, also you definitely will get chances in front of the goal. So you just be clinical and get one or two goals and maybe contribution towards the assist as well. That can really change his progress in this game in his performances in the season.
Mm. The manager's been speaking as well, Dan. It says even with all the players, all the squad, it'd be a really tough match. They're in a very good moment, but we're also prepared for anything, and we proved that maybe in the tougher matches we can step up, and today we want to do that. On United's record at Villa Park, which is amazing, by the way, he said it's always hard to play here, so the past doesn't matter. What matters is today. Aston Villa are in a good run, but we're also in a run where we're not winning, but we're playing well. We're not losing games, and today we need to return to winning ways, and that is the goal. So I don't know if he sounds nervous, confident, maybe mixed is probably the better way to go. I suppose all United fans at the minute are feeling a little bit like that. You never quite know what you're going to get from this team. But again, it always comes back to this, Dan. When I think about the Premier League table, I look at the chance to make a statement yet again. You've had Newcastle, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Brighton, Sunderland, Tottenham, and Crystal Palace have all dropped points, right? And
Mm,
all of them teams are surrounding us. They are the direct competition. It's very rare when you get
yeah,
all of them together drop points. So if you go
yeah.
out and beat Aston Villa, the statement that you make from that and the chance for European football, because then after that you've got Newcastle. Newcastle played really really well against Chelsea, but
Mm,
it was
mm.
because it was at home. Away from home, they've been pretty shit. So I don't know if I fancy our chances, but getting a win over Villa, especially with a heavily changed team, that'd be massive, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, now I mean, that could be the biggest statement to make today. I mean, considering, I mean, though we have lost so many chances to climb up the ladder in the table, but today again playing against Aston Villa, who has been in a very good form. I think I mean, continuous 9 games. They haven't lost a game. So that's where you can see that they have been more consistent, and to break that consistency, and also to, I mean, even Aston Villa are a direct competitor for you. So then you have to definitely win this game. It will be like a two-edged sword. Today's game, when you can beat the team who is also in the competition for that fifth position, and again you make a statement to climb up the ladder. Also, you make the statement saying that, I mean, even without Ahmad and Mbumo, you still can give the top level of performances. So, I mean, that today's confidence for Aston Villa will be, maybe the talking points also will be to target on that area, that side of the field also, because they will be feeling a bit comfortable with Ahmad and Mbumo not available. But again, I mean, playing against a strong team, Aston Villa and United, and especially you have seen the history of United. Whenever we had a chance to jump up the few positions, we have not been at the top of our level. But again, and the only confidence for me is like whenever we play against a struggling team, we have struggled. But when we play against a kind of a team who are in good run of games, we have come on top of them. So that's the only confidence I have today. So is Aston Villa. I mean, and you can see that the other teams like Newcastle, Tottenham, they are again, though they struggled at the beginning, even considering Liverpool, they struggled in the beginning, but now they are slowly they are coming up and coming up in the competition of the top four. So definitely that's this game has to be winnable game. So I mean, but yeah, again, it's always you can never judge United's performance. But today I feel, I mean, the gut feeling is like we can outperform Aston Villa just on the basis that we have been performing really good against the team who are good.
Yeah, it's tricky with Villa because they've been so good. I mean, to go from 6 games where they didn't get a win at the start of the season to winning 15 out of the last 17, and the majority of them, Shreya said it in the preview, the majority of them been wins. You're not talking just draws, like 15
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
wins or something outrageous. And in that time, they beat Aston Villa, Man City. It's like crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? The job that Unai Emery's done there has been nothing short of incredible to get them back from where they was at. And then the players that they've got as well to bring off the bench. Someone mentioned Buendia
Mm,
before, but then Daniel Marlin as well off the bench has
yeah.
looked really, really good. They've got depth in decent areas, and maybe that will be the difference as well today when we're looking to the bench. Obviously, we've got quite a few academy players there. They've got European players who can bring on and
Mm,
make a bit of a change. So I feel like that's going to be big for him. Also, the fact that it seems like they've got the right balance in midfield now. You look at Tillemans, Onana, Kamara. Looks kind of good whenever they play. They've got like the right balance. You've got Onana, who's that big physical player who can go box to box. Tillemans, a good kind of conductor of the ball. Gets quite a few assists, gets the odd goal here and there. Got obviously a great long shot from outside the box, which we saw with Leicester. But then the one star, Dan, is Morgan Rogers at the minute, who's just like is absolutely unplayable. And in my mind, even for England at the minute, there's a lot of talk about all the number 10s at the minute, like
mm.
Eberechi Eze, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, etc. But how good in your mind is Morgan Rogers? How highly do you rate him?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he has been really effective for Aston Villa. You have seen that he's been, I mean, he has scored like 5 goals and 3 assists. So, and also the performance has been continuous, and his availability also. He has played all the games, almost all the games that he has been there in Aston Villa. And and Villa bought him for very cheap also. He was somewhere around 10 euro, 10 million euro.
Hmm.
And with that price and that performance that he's giving, and also that potential, and also coming into the team of England, I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. And I mean, with that, with all the experience that he has and all the stats and the abilities that he has, he can really hurt us today. And we have to stop, and it's going to be very tough for us because in the midfield, already midfield area, in my personal belief, is that we have already looked very weak, especially with the lineup. You can see that Onana and I mean, Onana and the other one, who is the other
Kamara?
one? Kamara, yeah. Onana and Kamara has been really good, especially with the second ball, and they will be on their toes. And also, especially with the Rogers and McGinn, they are pressing very high.
Hmm.
They are very good in pressing high. So our defenders have no window for making any error, or I mean, waiting on the ball. So that's where you can see us struggling today. We have to be really quick, and to be on the negative side, you can see that we don't have any option to go and look towards the bench, and the only option is, I think, Xerxes, and the only change that you can guess is Xerxes on for Sesko. So that's the only change that you can see coming up in the game. So again, coming back to Rogers, I mean, it's a good, I mean, plus for England, especially going toward in the World Cup, and he has really proved himself well, and he has been the reason that where Aston Villa is standing today in the table. So, I mean, it's going to create a lot of threat and especially with he'll be competing against Dallo and Euro, who have been really looked not that much confidence while playing. So I think that's going to be a struggling point for us to cope up with on the right hand side of United defense.
Yeah, I agree. Morgan Rogers is going to be the one to watch today, which leads to the last bit. Dan, you know what's coming up. 4 things to watch out for in this game, in your opinion.
I mean, it's very very hard. You
I'm with
can.
you. I'm with you. I'm the exact trust man, the exact same.
I'm just trying to be. I mean, you cannot think from the brain, but I'll be more hypothetical. I'll go with Sesko assist or goal. It has to be. And Bruno Fernand. It's both teams will score, and especially and midfield. I mean, just a scenario based one prediction will be that midfield will be looking all over the place for us, and one header goal.
Okay. Okay. Is that from United or from Aston Villa? The header goal.
I'll be saying more towards the Aston Villa side.
Yeah, you're probably right. Is that 4? Yeah, you at 4?
Yeah, I think
Right.
it's four.
I think Morgan Rogers will definitely score or assist in this game for sure. It's going to happen. Based on the evidence that we spoke about that Bournemouth game, if Evan Nilsson and Cooper Jr., whatever his name is getting through that area, Morgan Rogers is 100% going to do that and contribute to something. I think both teams will score. How we score, I don't know. It might probably be a set piece or something.
Yeah.
But I think both teams will score. Ugarte is going to get a yellow card, 100%, 100%. And then a Bruno Fernandes shot on target because he's the guy. If anything's going to happen, we all know by now he's the one who's going to do it. So, yeah, score prediction. I'll go first because mine, I'm going to stick with what I said in the preview, and I said Villa 3-1.
Ooh. I'll just throw in a positive. I'll just go with 2-1 United. I have to be positive. I mean, I've been continuously being staying positive, but I'm the only thing is like prior to this, the games were late night games. I mean, I used to be getting very disappointed at the night, but I hope today it's a day of a turnaround and we win 2-1.
Jacob saying we really need Cunha or Bruno to turn up and provide a moment of magic this game. There's no option in the attack. Ray saying predictions: Lindelof man of the match performance.
Oh
Rogers
man, yeah.
goal, Bruno goal, Toby Menu's 97th minute equaliser. My prediction will be spot on. We need to win that second ball, go long and look for the flick-ons. To Sesko's credit, in these last few weeks, I've never seen United cross more than they have. I swear to God, if they change that today. All fantastic points. Go and enjoy the game. Me and Sam will be live as always straight after it. So come and join us and get involved in the conversation. And let's see what kind of game we'll actually be discussing. Big thank you to Dan for his time. Thank you to everyone for watching. If you can leave a like on the video just before you head off, it'd be really appreciative. And subscribe to the channel. And yeah, keep an eye on socials for anything in regards to the game. We'll see you in a bit.